Thank you for all giving me an hour of your time, because time is something that is of the essence, isn't it? It's far greater than we could really imagine, because you can't get the hour back. So to give me 1 hour of your life and your attention is a gift, and I appreciate it, so thank you. I'm a hypno-psychotherapist. So what is that? Okay, so I am a psychotherapist, which is like a counsellor, like a psychologist. You know, I've done 4 years of training, about to tick off the associate degree and add that credential to my list. And hypnosis is hypnosis. I'm sure you've all heard of hypnosis. And I use hypnosis as a tool which facilitates each and every one of my sessions. But today is about the book I wrote called Discover Your Hidden Potential. And there it is. It's my first book. I never anticipated to be an author. It was not in my dreams at all. But sometimes life has a curious way of leading you down different roads and leading you on a journey that you would never expect. So, and that is precisely what has happened for me, not to me, because words are powerful. And I've learnt that in the beginning it used to be, why is this happening to me? And then I realised through discovering who I truly am, which I'm sharing in this book, things don't happen to us, they happen for us. So that's a powerful shift in words right there. Okay, so background, I was in dentistry. I was a dental hygienist treating people with gum disease and whitening teeth and taking moulds and polishing fillings for 32 years. And it became very clear to me that it was time to move on. So people grow, people evolve, people change. And so that is what happened. Plus my body kept giving me lots of indications that it was time to change as well. And that is all in my book. It's the journey. So what is my book about? It starts off, it might be quite different, I don't know. It starts off as my breadcrumbs that led me to my blueprints as to who we truly are. So the breadcrumbs being, you know how we have sort of a pinnacle in our life, something big that happens that changes our trajectory? I can never say that word. And for me, it was divorce. So, you know, I didn't get married to get divorced. Who does? And if somebody did, that'd be strange. But that happened, you know, 16 years of marriage in that 20-year relationship, and it happened. And that's what made me that was the event that made me stop and start looking within, questioning everything. And that's what led me into a journey of discovering things from my past that I needed to think about. Now, they weren't dark, deep secrets or anything like that. Just little thoughts, little events that you take for granted when you're a kid growing up. You just think this is normal, this is absolutely just, you don't have any parameters. When you're a kid, you're a kid. From the age of 0 to 7, we don't have this frontal lobe, this logical, analytical part of our minds grown. It's not grown. So whatever happens between the age of 0 to 7 is that, you know how we hear that we're like sponges when we're a kid, and we really are, because we don't have any logical, analytical mind to go, oh, well, mum's just tired and she didn't really mean that, or, you know, when things sort of become part of our programming. So we accept everything. That's what I'm trying to say. We accept everything. We can't logically say, oh, well, give, you know, rational reasons for anything. We just accept it. And things from 0 to 7 become our programming and our belief. And we live through life with these, and they get reinforced and cemented and through other experiences. And so I was reflecting on little things like that, trying to discover how I ended up divorced, and what I needed to sort of do to discover myself again. I felt like I'd lost myself. So the book starts off as that, the other breadcrumbs. Then that leads to the discovery, which are the blueprints. The blueprints, so I'm launching straight into what the book's about, but then I'll explain how this all happened, because that's a pretty exciting story. So the blueprints are basically, I crunched it right down as to who we truly are. And you are all amazing. You're meant to be here. You have a purpose. There is no one else like you in the whole entire universe. And let's go into that a little bit. Your fingerprints. none of your fingerprints will match. Not even identical twins have fingerprints that are the same. Everybody has a unique fingerprint. When we look at our phone, there's the, recognizes our eyeballs, and it opens up our phone because there's no one's eyes like you as well. If we really start thinking about this stuff, which is, that's the important message here as well. We need to think more, and we need to actually reflect more. So let's go on about that a bit more, about our uniqueness. So the eyes, the voice. The voice, when we ring up, just say Centrelink, or we ring up the ATO, the Australian Taxation Department, we have to say, in Australia, my voice identifies me. Now, why would the government get us to do that? That unlocks our account, our voice. Ever thought about that? No. Because our voice is unique. There's no other voice like ours either. And I'm a quantum biofeedback practitioner. So I take voice samples, and I actually know everything about that person, history. And so the government must know that about us too, if they're actually collecting our voice prints to let us into our accounts. The most two important ones, the ATO for the government and Centrelink. So it makes me wonder and think about that. And the trajectory of where our existence is going with all the AI stuff, but that's another story. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it does make you think. It's nice to think about that and sort of where is it going, because we are in control of that. So we are important, we have a say. All right, so let's go through the blueprints. So I won't go into them because obviously you want to get the book and you want to read it and discover it for yourself because it's quite exciting. But the blueprints talk about energy. We're an energetic being. I like to explain things in the simplest way that I can. So I have the heart. Let's just talk briefly about our hearts. Our hearts have 40,000 more neurons in them than the brain. It actually holds memory. That's why when some people have heart transplants, there was a little boy, just say, who loved trains, and he passed, and his heart was put into a little girl. That little girl, that you hear stories like, this little girl likes trains all of a sudden. It's quite bizarre. And you hear many stories like that. And if you haven't, look them up because they're really exciting. And you think, wow, because memory is stored in the heart as well. The heart has answers. If you want to know something, hand on heart with your question, make it clear, the answer will come. Sometimes it's actually being brave enough about accepting that answer. As an example, I'm just trying to think of one quickly. Just say you met somebody for the first time and you thought you had this funny feeling about them. And thought, I don't know about that person, but they were so attractive to you. But there was that funny feeling, but they were so attractive to you. And you're like, what should I do? The funny feeling's telling you there's something not right, but you're so attracted to them and you really want a relationship, you don't listen to that. And you just go forward with that. And then things happen and the relationship didn't work, just say, and then you're left wondering, going, I knew something was going on there. Something told me there wasn't something right, okay? That's our intuition. That is part of all of us. So that's what's in the book as well. I talk about intuition. So intuition is our innate ability. We all have it. It's not woo-woo. It's not paranormal. It's a real thing. And I can explain that too. So when you meet somebody for the first time, you get a vibe about them. And that's even the language we use. Yeah, they give me a good vibe. Are we actually listening to what we're saying? Vibe is short for vibration. What's vibration? And energy. Okay, so when we meet somebody for the first time, we get a good vibe about them. We're actually in their field. It's resonating with us. And there's another word. Oh, that resonates with me. Yeah, energy resonates when you and somebody else are coherent. And so there you go. There's an example of intuition. It's real. You can walk into a room, and if somebody's in a bit of a grump of a mood, you walked into the room and you can just sense it. You can just sense it before you've perhaps even said a word, because you're reading innately. Because this is hardwired in us. This is who we are, that we don't even know, because it's just so natural for us to do that. So hence you can sense if somebody's grumpy. You can sense, okay? So I find in my field that I help people to turn up their senses and to trust that, because it's usually when people are disconnected from their innate self that, and this isn't a generalization, this is a part of it, that people do lose touch with themselves. They lose touch with how to trust, how to listen to that voice, how to even hear that voice or that feeling or that gut feeling. And because we are so conditioned in this society to be looking outwards. Oh, we cut our finger. Oh my God, let's go to the doctor and let's get it fixed. Like, the body has an innate way of healing itself. And we can do a lot of things ourselves, but we are very much trained to look outward. And probably the finger wasn't the best example, but I'm just trying to make something physical because we've been also conditioned to think very physical, scientific proof. We haven't got proof. Oh, that's rubbish. It's BS. When in fact, there's a lot more to it, and that's why. So that's why the book. Now, the book. Why did I write the book when I didn't even want to be an author? When I had the divorce 8 years ago now. And I said to you, I started questioning, why did this happen to me? I was totally in victim mode. Then I started remembering things from the past, and I put those breadcrumbs in the book. So there's no chapters as such in my book. I call them the breadcrumbs that lead to the blueprints, and then the other stuff there, that source, the divine spirit, angels, I don't know what they are, but I've been getting messages, which is really strange for me. And that's a great segue for now to talk about how I became an author. So, crunching down on all these things, lots of quiet time now. I have 2 beautiful children, but now, unfortunately, it's 1 week with Dad, 1 week with Mum. And so I had time to think. And gee, isn't that confronting? Very confronting, the silence, the thoughts, the feelings. Wow. But gee, have I been on a journey and totally enlightened from it all. So I now thank the All That Is, because everything that happens in our life is for us. It doesn't happen to us to cause us pain, to cause us suffering, to be a victim. That's the conditioning, okay? If we think outside of that, all of the things that happen in life are gifts. If somebody irks your gherkins and they make you angry or pee you off or upset you in some way, thank you. Change the way you think. Thank you. Why did that irk my gherkins? I had somebody this morning, because for some reason today is a very strange day for me. I woke up this morning with 23 Facebook friend requests from, none from Australia, they're all from America, Texas, Illinois, France, Spain. And I was thinking, what is going on today? What is going on? And anyway, I was just getting ready today. This lady, she said, oh, you're so lovely. Could I please give you a message? I said, only if it's a positive one, because boundaries are really important. And and then there was a big pause, and then she did, and she said something lovely, and I said, thank you, that's very nice. And then she just, I think, couldn't hold back really, and she expressed this whole thing. Do you know that somebody's got their eye on you? And it was a psychic reading, I guess, and she was saying, and you've gone through this and that and this and that and this and that. And I read it and I thought, thank you for showing me you. It's got nothing to do with me. What other people think of me, whether they've got their eye on me or not, is absolutely nothing to do with me. So you release all fear and all worry that that person subconsciously, perhaps, because they are not evolved, they don't actually know even what they're talking about, because that shows me how they think. It's nothing to do with me. Anybody else probably not evolved, okay, not enlightened in a way. That's got such a religious connotation to it, but it's not. It's just being very aware and conscious.
There is a saying that actually on that note, and they do say, well, I always say, whatever you think of me is none of my business.
Yeah, that's right. And it's true. Because what they're doing is showing you them. Because it's and I'll go into that with the hypno-psychotherapy stuff. So this lady this morning, I said, thank you very much, but I have to get ready for my book talk today, and I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a lovely day. And then she said, another message, but does this resonate with you? And I thought to myself, really, it's got none of your business, whether it did or not. Number one is, no, it didn't. because it doesn't resonate with me in the way that I can see you think. You think, oh, very Hollywood, bam, bad, this, that. And me, I'm just going, yeah, that's life. Things happen in life. Whether it resonates with me or not is none of your business. And that is life. They're not bad things, because everything to me that comes my way is a gift. Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a gift to go within to discover who you are. Because the most important relationship you can have in your life is the one with yourself. We come in with no one and we leave with no one. We don't. We are on our journey, and we're learning while we're here. We're here for a short time, okay? We're here for a short time. This is just a meat suit that is carrying our life force, our energy. They say our soul is energy. So I look at it like that. Everything that comes is a gift for me to learn and grow and learn about myself. So, and let's face it, people love talking about themselves. They are the most important person in the world. You're laughing over there. It's true though, isn't it? So, okay.
One of the things that you're talking about is very spiritually based, which means that you have to go within to be able to talk about it.
I wouldn't even say it's spiritually based. I think it's actually the way that we should be taught, even from schools, of how to crunch down feelings and emotions and thought processes. Because everybody puts it, we'll go to the psychologist, we'll go to the hypno-psychotherapist, and the hypno-psychotherapist is going to tell me how to get better. I am a roadmap.
Yeah, I think the misunderstanding is when I'm talking about spiritual, I mean that it can be religion, it can be anything like that, but what I'm talking about is what you were talking about before, that intuition.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
So spiritually based. So you were saying before that prior to you doing this totally left field wonderful thing with the book and everything else,
Yeah.
did you have that sense of questioning, that spirit-based sort of inner self?
Well, it really,
just come to
that's what's in the book. So the breadcrumbs are going back to those sort of funny moments. So I'll explain that. So one of the moments was when I was one of the youngest, probably the youngest moment, was when I was a little girl under the age of 10. And I was playing upstairs with my brother with the toys, and my grandfather had passed away a few months before that. And I saw my grandfather sitting in a chair with his back towards us, and I said, "Granddad," and he turned around and looked at us. And I went, "Oh, I've got to tell Mum." And I ran down the stairs and told Mum. Mum was like, you know, like people, they don't get it. And it's like, yeah, whatever, she's probably just imagining things. You know, it wasn't like I was ever validated that I saw something. But, and then I'm thinking, well, that's just normal to see Granddad, right? So I started to go back on things, and we've all had little weird things, if we're going to call them weird. They're not really weird. It's only because you can't tangible, you can't touch them, but they're not weird. They actually are who we are. We've all had these experiences. We absolutely have. And so, yeah, so when, so in now jumping from that moment to now, the divorce and reflecting back, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. That is something very different for me, because at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm a sound sleeper, always have been. Go to bed like one of those little dolls with the eyes that, you know, they lay down and their eyes automatically shut. I've been like that, luckily. And 3 o'clock in the morning, I kept getting woken up. And this particular morning, and this is the weirdest thing, I had my phone, I always have my phone beside the bed because I set the alarm for the morning. And I'm not really technology savvy, but I had this tele-index, and that's a very old-fashioned thing. You're sort of getting closer to my age now. When I say it to the younger ones, I don't know what tele-index is. Remember those yeah, okay. Okay, so tele-index rollout of titles for a book. Titles for a book, and it was like, they all had the same theme to them. And they were so inspiring. And this is in my sleep. And like I said, I'm not tech savvy, but I leaned over, grabbed my phone, God knows how, got my phone, knew how to find notes in a heartbeat with still my eyes blurry because I couldn't see in the night. And then I typed, and if you see my text messaging, I'm always getting words, you know, mumble jumble, written perfectly. And there was about, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 of them. I've got them on it's an old phone now. There were heaps of them. And I went, okay, good. And I felt really inspired. Put it back down, went back straight back to sleep. Then I woke up the next day and I said to my husband, I had this really strange dream and I'm going to write a book. And he's like, and he's very supportive. So he's like, okay. And I said, listen to this. And then I read all of the titles for the book. Oh my God, they were all amazing, amazing. And I thought, geez, what's going on here? And then it started. I had to write a book. So that's how it happened. So there's a spiritual connection. So it's in my destiny to do this. I didn't know it, but I'm just following the breadcrumbs and I'm just letting go now. Whatever happens, happens. Like,
That only happens when you listen.
you got to listen.
You've got to be able
But it was so strong you could not listen. This wasn't like the fine line, am I hearing? This was like,
But there's a lot of people that don't listen, even if they
you're right.
don't do it.
You're right. And that's
Because they're so into today.
they're so into,
Tangibles.
yeah, that's it. Looking out, not going within, not knowing how to actually crunch down stuff, not knowing how to go within. Because what does go within mean? It's such a buzzword, isn't it? Okay, so in my book, Spirit has downloaded to me, because this is different times I was woken up, a framework for people to crunch down their thoughts and their feelings and the day's events. That was amazing. One morning again, 3 o'clock, must be the godly hour. I woke up at 3 o'clock again. This, because of writing this book and all the inspiration that kept getting downloaded into me, I now had pen and paper beside the bed, and I wrote it down. Okay. All of these words that were a framework, they said to me, like, it's like when I say I said to, I don't mean linear language. It's like a packet. It's like a poof, and you just know. And there's all this information in this packet that just hits your head. And I wrote it all down, and I put that, like on a bit of paper like this, and I put it in my diary with a bulldog clip, and I said, when I have time to write that part of the book, because I know that's for the book, that was a divine message, I will sit down and look at what that means and have to sort of decode it. I thought to myself, I'm going to have to decode that. And it wasn't until a few months later, I wrote this book actually in 2 or 3 sittings. It just flowed. Isn't that crazy? Because in school I wasn't really that great at that stuff. And so that's how I know that this is not about me. This is about, this is a message from the all that is to help people. I'm just a conduit for delivering something that they thought I would be a good conduit for. So I just listen and do what I'm told. So the things that came through were the 10 R's. When I looked at them, they all started with R. The words all started with R, and there were 10 of them. And when I sat there to write that part of the book, I thought, God, this one's going to be a doozy, me working this out. What does that mean? And then I sat there and I was reading them out and I went, oh my God, I know exactly what this means. So all I did was put a little definition. It is exactly how Spirit downloaded it to me in order, put it in the book. And then I was like, can I call this the Altramind technique, seeing you gave it to me? And then I felt good, so I went, that's what it is. So that's how that happened to me. So the Altramind technique is in here, the 10 R's downloaded from Spirit. I also, at the last minute, I was just about to publish the book, and then I heard them say, the audio, you didn't do the audio. And I went, audio? And this came to me now, my waking self. And I went, audio, okay. Oh my God, yeah. So there's a part in the book where literally the last thing I said, just put this sentence in at the end of this part here, that will be good enough. And it says something like, if you want to crunch down on your thoughts, it's called the Digest and Reflect Hypnotic Recording. I did it, I wrote it, and then I recorded it. It's very easy, and then made it as an adjunct to this if people want to crunch down their thoughts, because like you were saying, you know, people are all out there, they're not within here. Well, this helps you to, it has a framework for reflection, so you can digest the day and reflect on the day, and then work it out. It gives opportunity. Give yourself a pat on the back for something that went well and you loved, and it was a great transaction, just say, with you and another person, or a pet, or a flower, or your thought process, whatever it is. And you go, that was good. I want to do that again. How can I do that again? It gives you time, 10 minutes to think. And then it also goes, well, where did you perhaps wasn't that great? What could you do there? So then it gives a framework there. It gives you time to think about it. One thing even, one thing. It doesn't mean every day going into great depths and feeling worn out. One little thing a day. It's like journaling, but doing it in your head with a framework. So the framework's there and you just follow along, and that's how, and so I thought that was great. So that got added to it. I did get another download. It says, okay, now you have to connect it up. That's what I heard. And I'm like, connect it up, what does that mean? And then I just heard greater consciousness. It's just, the language is so simple. They don't speak in paragraphs or Hollywood movies. It's just that. So then I did that. So I linked up the breadcrumbs and the blueprints to how that links into individual consciousness, collective consciousness, and greater consciousness. I had to look those up because I thought, wow, this is profound for me. And then I thought to myself, well, okay, because mind you, I'm writing a book, but I didn't say it was going to be for anybody at that stage. So I'm writing the book, and then I thought to myself, oh, it's a little book. It's cute. It'll be for my kids. So when I cark it, this will be for them so they can live their best life. That's what I honestly thought. I thought that's going to be for my kids. It's like the little legacy when mum's not around and all shite hits the fan, and they're living life in all the because we're all rainbows of emotions. We've got all of them. We do. And so sometimes some emotions, the darker, heavier ones, sadness, grief, sometimes they actually make an appearance in our life, because life is a stage, and they make an appearance, and sometimes that season can go for a while. And I thought, well, while that season's going for a while, maybe they can tune into my book, and it can help them to step out of that, to see things from a different perspective, a greater perspective, to then see it as the gift and step out of it and move on, and not let it define them, and then drive the rest of their life with that. Because they are not that, they're greater than that. But then again, woken up 3 o'clock in the morning, and I got delivered Pearls of Wisdom. And I just knew what that meant. That meant write a section on the Pearls of Wisdom, link and connect. So I linked and connected up, did a Pearls of Wisdom, and that was it. So that's the book. I haven't finished, but I will, because I've leave these around too. I might put them at the back. But this is just services that I offer, if anybody's interested in that. I would like to read you a part, only if you'd like me to read you a part of the book. Yes, okay, cool. Let's just start from the introduction. Okay. Life has a curious way of unfolding, leading us down paths we never expected to travel. When I found myself standing at the crossroads of an unexpected divorce, it was as if the ground beneath me crumbled and my world as I knew it shattered into a million fragmented pieces. And in the midst of the chaos and heartache, I found solace in the strangest of places, the forgotten corners of my memory. Like long-lost friends who had faded into the depths of time, memories from my past began to resurface, beckoning me to explore their hidden significance. It was as if these fragments of my life were conspiring to guide me on a journey of self-discovery, a pilgrimage to unravel the enigma that was my true self. And as I delved deeper into the recesses of my mind, I unearthed fragments of forgotten memories, moments of joy and sorrow, and revelations that had long buried beneath the layers of routine and societal expectations. And I underline that, not in my book, but... Okay, so in layers of routine and societal expectations. That's big, even those words, to ponder that for a little bit. Wow, that's really forming boundaries around me, and to some part form values and limitations. Because you are really unlimited beings, but you're living in a world that's full of frameworks and conditioning. So where did I get up to there? The familiar faces from childhood friends, the resonating laughter of loved ones, and the essence of experiences long past all danced before my eyes, urging me to connect with the essence of who I was. As if in a trance-like state, pardon the pun, but being a hypnotherapist, I had to put that in there. I was compelled to embark on this journey, a quest for answers, and as I pondered the intricacies of my failed marriage and the choices that had brought me to this juncture, I realised that I had operated on autopilot, blindly following the expected script of societal norms. I had allowed myself to be shaped by external influences, losing touch with the unique tapestry of my being. And you are all unique tapestries. You all are. There's not one of you that's the same. All of your life experiences, your childhood, has all provided a thread that's been weaved into your tapestry. It was time to reclaim my agency, to understand who I truly was and how to operate authentically. The divorce had stripped away the illusions that I had woven around myself, leaving me vulnerable, yet liberated, ready to embrace the uncharted territories of my existence. So there's a little introduction, and I'll skip forward to the last bit of the intro. So this book is an invitation, a roadmap to unlock the secrets that lie within. It is a testament to the human spirit's desire for understanding, and the untapped potential that resides within each of us. Together, let us embark on a voyage of self-discovery, armed with the power of memory, the resilience of human spirit, and the unwavering belief that within the depths of our being we shall find our true selves. Let it be known, you are unique, you are special, you are meant to be here, and if you are not convinced, read on and soon you will discover who you truly are. So that's the intro. Thank you. There is another part that I would perhaps like to read to you. Yeah, well, how are we going for time? 11:45? Excellent. Okay. So, all right, let's start from here. This is another download from Spirit. Sorry, it's just been such a profound. No worries. Lovely to meet you. Lovely to chat with you earlier. Take care. All right. So a few months ago into writing this book, a peculiar occurrence took place that left me both intrigued and bewildered. It was an ordinary night like no other when an extraordinary dream visited me, delivering a message that would linger in my mind for days. In this dream, I found myself standing in an empty room. The air was still, and there was a sense of anticipation that filled the space. And suddenly, a word materialised before my eyes, as if somebody had written it in bold black letters against a pristine white background. The word was an unusual word. I've never heard of it. In fact, I know nothing about this culture, the language or religion. I'll be really simple here and say I wouldn't even know where to point it on the globe. I never did geography at school. But the word was Y-E, and I'm hoping I'm saying it right. W-A-H-Y. And it commanded my attention with its striking, bold presence. And in fact, that word that was presented to me, I didn't go into all of this in there. No, so I'll add a little bit here. So that word came to me, and actually the letters came closer and closer. And in this dream, I was like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I was aware of the words there, but I wasn't really looking there. I don't know what I was doing. I'm saying blah, 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 but I'm just trying to really emphasize that I was not looking at those words, but I knew that they were there. And in the dream, they said, are you paying attention? Strong, but loving. Like you didn't get offended by it. It was a weird feeling. And I'm like, yeah. And I felt the love from them going, yeah, you're not. And then they put the words right there. Like I can't see close. I'm good at long sight, but I can't see. And they put the words right there. And I saw W-A-H-Y in bold black writing, white in the background. And I thought, okay, yes, I'm listening. And then I went, because they wanted me to repeat it. It's like a weird thing. You just know what's happening. And I went, W-A-H-Y. And then as I said Y, I thought, that's not even a word. But I made the promise. It's a funny thing, like a packet of information happens at once. And this was in a dream, so I can't say I went back to sleep because I was asleep. And then the next day, it was about, I don't know, in the morning, and I was opening up some of my mail. The house was quiet, apart from my stepson being there. And I'm remarried now. Anyway, I was opening my mail and I went, I promised. What did I promise? That word. I literally, I had my phone, you always have our phones there. I just grabbed my phone, I started typing in W-A-H-Y, because as I was typing, I was literally remembering it. And then I put meaning, enter. Well, that's crazy. So let me just skip to that part now. Okay. This is what the Google search engine told me via Wikipedia. Y-E is the Arabic word for revelation. In Islamic belief, revelations are God's word delivered by his chosen individuals known as messenger prophets to mankind. I thought, what? And honestly, I got even goosebumps now just saying it again. I felt completely overwhelmed. I hung my head. I was overwhelmed. I teared up. And I had to go and tell my my stepson. And I just couldn't believe it. And then I sort of read on, and it says that, and I quote, Y-E, revelation in brackets. This is verbatim from the Wikipedia and that. And it's types, literal meaning inspiration, revelation, suggestion, to point out a thing to someone, to put a thing into the mind of someone secretly. To a letter, a writing, something revealed or written, or the idea inspired or revealed, saying a commandment, to dispatch a messenger to someone. That's what it said. And it just resonated with me because to me, that I'm a hypno-psychotherapist, and there's no mind control with hypnotherapy like people think. I am literally just like a Google Maps. I provide a frame map for people to discover themselves, for people to tap back into the past and make sense of things, enabled to either let go, reframe, move forward. I'm a really good Google Maps. If Dr. Peter George, my mentor and lecturer, if he heard me say that we are just a good Google Map, he would be very upset with me. We are more than that, but I'm really just dumbing it down, because really I just want you to know that I don't do anything to anybody apart from share my story, and with my work, listen to them and understand what maps, hypnotic journeys that they need to go on to be able to crunch down and do the work, to feel better, to become empowered, to step out of that emotion, to live their best life. That's it. So why it really resonated with me, and I feel like why me? I'm just an everyday average person, and still am. And but we're not. We're all amazing beings. And listen to that voice, that gut feeling. Some people have the gut feeling. Some people have a knowing. This is really exciting too. I just edited an interview that I did of this, I had with this lady, and I know we have to wrap it up soon. But this lady, her name is June Cox, and she is she's a lot of things actually, a Reiki master. She's in her 80s, I'd say. She is a psychic medium, and I was interviewing her, and if I could just remember exactly what she said, because I was only editing it yesterday to make it all polished. She said, when you listen to people speak, and I love this, she said, when people say, I know, and they say, I know a lot, they're revealing to you their divine gift. And people hate the I knows, know-it-alls, they know. But, they do know, and that's their divine gift. I feel that. Oh my God, I felt that. I feel for you. And you hear things like that. That's the clairsentient. So they feel things, they know things through feeling. Okay, so we are divine beings. Listen to your language patterns, and it will reveal to you because you've got all the gifts. It's just what the one is that you're probably using the most. What is the volume that's being turned up the most of that gift? So it is all within you, and to absolutely trust it. So. My book, to wrap it up now, I think we're nearly at the end, is available on Amazon. There's a few copies in the Dimmicks bookstore on Jetty Road, Glenelg. And yes, they have downloaded a few other books for me to write. The next one's going to be so good. I want to reveal the title, but I can't, but the title's so good. And anyway, it's exciting. This whole journey is exciting. I do have a YouTube channel called Breadcrumbs to Blueprints. It's fun for me. I used to do TV presenting, and I'm not saying, I'm a big presenter, but I just love doing it. I love interviewing people because they're interesting. June Cox's interview, that clairvoyant that talks about the I know and the I feel, her interview is coming out next Friday. But there's some interviews in there on all psychic people, and then I've got like a complimentary medicine section too, because I'm interested. I didn't know what reflexology was, and I didn't know what iridology was, but I do now. So check out that. I work at Port Adelaide and North Plympton. I've just been awarded last night Best Hypnotherapy Business in Port Adelaide and Enfield. So that's pretty good, thank you. I didn't expect that, so I put it on my website. You'll find me on Facebook as well. Do you have any questions at all? Yes.
What's the Tesla metamorphosis energy?
Oh, yes, I did that. I flew to Sydney for that. Google that lady. Now, what is her name right now off the top of my head? Anya. If you Google Tesla metamorphosis, her name will come up. So it's energy healing. It's akin to Reiki, but you don't have to touch a person. She's originally from, is it Serbia, where Nikola Tesla? Petrovic, that's it. Yeah, Anya Petrovic. She's beautiful. Yes, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Any other questions?
Can you actually see the energy around a person? Can you like switch it on?
Oh, yeah. I do teach at the WEA to help people develop their intuition, because that's an important part. And in that workshop, we do a bit of an aura thing. So I can, I'm not saying, I see all these magical colours, because it's something that needs honing and training. But if you actually if you have somebody like a black wall or a white wall.
And you personally, can you
Can I see in other people?
Yes.
If I'm looking at you now, no, but if I stare at you, yes, I'll see your aura.
So you have to tune into a different way of looking.
Yes. And that is, so if I'm standing here, and you want to do it to other people and yourself, look in the mirror. Stare at your forehead and allow yourself to go a little bit bleary-eyed. Relax the vision and stare until it sort of becomes, you know what, when you look at those 3D pictures and you see a lady and then you see a man? Like that. And then you'll see a bright light coming out from around the person. And then you can see like colours, they're soft pastels, like maybe like yellow or, yeah. So we do this at the WA. When they did mine, they saw all white and they were so disappointed, but I was so happy because white energy is really good energy. Like it's energy that can be, it's like a stem cell. There's stuff coming in.
Energy, isn't it? White with healing.
If you have the intention to heal, you can channel that energy, and even just the thought, even if you... Yeah, absolutely. If you think of somebody that's in another country and you've thought of them and you have the intention to send them healing energy.
Yeah, energy.
Yep.
Energy is everything.
Absolutely. That's correct. We're an energetic being.
Yeah.
I'll boil that down. I was curious about why energy, why... I thought, well, because I came from a biology background with my dentistry and everything, I had to do full body anatomy and medicine and pharmacology, so I have a great deal of knowledge about the body. So I thought, let's start with the skin. The skin is the largest organ. Okay, so the body consists of 50 trillion cells in the human body, and that's Dr. Bruce Lipton. He wrote The Biology of Belief. My book sends you on little rabbit holes as well. I go, read that book, look at that, go and check out that YouTube thing. And so it sends you on a bit of a journey too of self-discovery, because they're the things that I found that helped me. And Bruce Lipton, he said that. So I thought, right, well, the cells, the skin and the body actually, then I went to that, consists of 50 trillion cells. What consists of a cell? Organelles. So you got the boundary. I don't know if anybody's biology minded, but you got the cell with blobs inside, and the blobs inside are like organs. They're like mini us. They've got organs. They're called organelles, and they have different functions. And I thought, well, okay, so if I consist of a whole bunch of organelles within a cell, where do they come from? So when I crunch them down, what are they made up of? They're made up of atoms. And I thought, okay, so atoms make organelles. Cool. And then I thought, well, what are atoms made out of? Because I never did physics at school. And atoms are made up of, I found out, electrons, protons, and neutrons. And I thought, great, so where do they come from? Because I want to know who I am. And the bottom line is energy, vortices of energy. And then I started to think, spiritual, because that's quite scientific. And then I started to think, so the soul, if we're energy and we come from source, we are an energetic being. It just made sense to me. The soul is energy. I don't know. So it's interesting. I'm on a journey of self-discovery, still on the journey. I'll always be on the journey. That's it. And isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's such a gift.
Exciting.
Such a gift to be alive. Such a gift to have an experience, to know ourselves and to experience the duality of this earth. A 3D earth with lots of experiences, to experience duality. To learn who we are. I had somebody that saw me yesterday and they said, without names, confidentiality, but this happened to me, that happened to me, and then this divorce, and then I shifted house 3 times in 6 months, and that killed me. And I'm like, yes, it did. Absolutely validate all those feelings. But what did it teach you about yourself? What are you talking about? What did you learn from that? You're strong. You can do it. You have tenacity. You were having hard times with this person, but you still gave them your all because you love completely. Look at the other side of things to discover who you truly are. And remember too, your body is talking to you. It gives you messages. I look at the body as part of my treatment. It's just the way I work. So, if a person has a sore left knee, it usually comes from a mother, an auntie, a sister, or a feminine energy that's annoying them. If it's a right knee, it's a masculine energy. An ex-husband, a father, a brother, an uncle, or someone that has masculine energy. Okay, so the different sides of the body, I've learned, also can indicate past traumas, and I do a Gestalt energy release technique in hypnosis, because the energy of trauma, and I don't mean you have to be hit by a car or, have something traumatic or physical happen to you. Trauma could just be from watching something on TV that deeply resonated with you, and you any feeling. Let feeling be your compass. Feelings are your compass. They're not something to be suppressed and to be dealt with later. Drink a cup of cement and toughen up. No, feelings are your compass to life. Acknowledge them, work through them so you can release the energy of them and move forward. It's less burden on the body as well. Thank you so much for coming today. I've really enjoyed your attention. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'll be at the back if anybody wants a book. I can sign it for you if you'd like. And I'll turn this off.